And so the first process is called separation. And listen to this. The temperature that the technician puts there in the oil refinery, okay, the temperature that he puts in the different boilers and in the different parts of the boilers, listen, the technician knows how to dictate the behavior and reaction of the oil. If he wants the oil to boil, he knows how much temperature to put. If he wants the oil to evaporate, he knows how much pressure to put. If he wants the oil to solidify, or if he wants it to become flammable, the technician knows what he's doing. How many of you know God knows what he's doing? And we come before the Lord, and how many of you know that God hears our prayers? God hears our prayers. God even hears the silent prayers when we're sick of ourselves, when we're sick of our situation, and we say, God, help me. God, change me. God, change this situation. Then the Lord gets to work. Are you with me this morning? Number two, the second part is called conversion. Okay? The second part is called conversion. Okay? You know, the more, listen to this, the longer the process takes, okay? A process is made longer for two reasons, reading all this. Number one, because the material is being stubborn and it won't do what it's supposed to do. If you're in your situation and it just doesn't change, you've got to ask yourself, am I being stubborn? Am I not doing what I'm supposed to do? Whoa, not even my mom and wife said amen on that one. Number two, the Holy Spirit did. Amen. Thank you. Number two, the longer the process takes, the finer quality and value of the product. See, maybe God is taking you through something. See, every morning I go before the Lord, and I'm praying for certain situations. And I believe God's going to do great things. But I want you to know, with all my heart, as your pastor, there are many of you in here that every morning I know your situation, and I pray for you. And I keep waiting. I say, Lord, I got so much time, and I want to add more people so I'm going to take. But I keep praying for that same situation. And I say, Lord, when is that situation going to change so I can move on to someone else? And I'm excited. Because taking this long, I know for some of you, your character, your motives, your faith, it's going to come out better than gold, better than silver. Are you with me this morning? And the first part is called separation. The second part, that oil goes through this refinery and it's boiled and all these things go through it, it's called conversion. And basically what conversion means, are we good on time, brothers and sisters? Yeah. Good. And basically what conversion means is this. It'll take some low-value things. Let's just say, for instance, America isn't camping today. Okay? You know, we go camping, we go in our backyard these days. That's our vacation these days. How many of you can say amen? And we're not going on vacation, so people aren't camping. So, for instance, propane isn't as in high demand as it was. Okay? Let's just say certain kinds of gasoline isn't as in high demand as it was, just because the prices went up for a while and also because of the hybrid cars that are running on electricity. You follow me? So for unwanted, unuseful materials that are not in high demand, the technicians will get all these, put them into another boiler, and it's called conversion. And this is what they do. They take the material and they turn it into something else. And for the real thick stuff, they'll just break it up to small molecules, and they'll turn it into what is in demand and what is in high cost at that time. Are you with me? Okay. Listen, how many of you have asked him to change you? He's changing you. He's making you useful for the Master's hand. Are you with me this morning? And number three, the last thing, as we talk about an oil refinery this morning, the last part of it is called treatment. Everybody say treatment. Okay. And treatment is a process that comes and takes the material that's been worked on and it refines it, it purifies it, it fine-tunes it, it improves the product specific requirements. And a technician will even come and add performance additive, dyes, all these things. And listen, there are two things that it takes into consideration. The technician, listen to this. The technician will do research and will say, what is this product going to be used for? What kind of road conditions is this product going to be used in? What kind of weather conditions is this product going to be used in? Is it going to be hot? Is it going to Alaska, or is it going to Arizona? Are you following me? And what's it going to be used in? Is it going to be used in a car? Is it going to be used in a plane? You know, are you following me? Listen, we have no idea what's ahead. We have no idea what's coming up. How many of you are going through something right now? How many of you are feeling things right now? How many of you are thinking things right now? And you had no idea a month ago, 6 months ago, a year ago, that something was going to come up. But how many of you know God knew? And God is preparing His people. God prepares His people, and the last process is called treatment for the road conditions and for the weather conditions ahead. Are you with me this morning? 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 22. In a large house there are articles not only of gold and silver, but also of wood and clay, some for noble purposes, some for ignoble or unnoble purposes. If a person cleanses himself from the latter, he will be an instrument for noble purposes, made holy, useful to the master, and prepared to do any good work. Listen, this is what Paul is telling Timothy. Timothy, in a house, there's different kinds of utensils, there are different kinds of pots and vases. He says some are of gold, some are of silver, but then some are of wood and of clay. And he says, if you can cleanse yourself, Timothy, from the latter, the wood and the clay, and be something of gold and silver, then you will be useful to the potter's, to the master's touch. Okay? And the master can use you. Now listen to this. It's not a matter of us saying, okay, then I'm going to make myself gold and I'm going to make myself silver. You and I don't have the ability to do that. But what he's telling Timothy is this. What's the difference between gold and silver and wood and clay in context to what we're talking about? And in context to what he's telling him about? He's saying this, look, wood and clay, you can't refine it. You put clay in a fire, and after a while it's going to burn. You put wood in a fire, and after a while it's going to, well actually right away, it's going to burn. You can't put it in and all these things come up. Wood goes through the fire and it burns. Clay goes through the fire and it melts. Gold goes through the fire, it melts, but you can use it again. And the impurities come up. Okay? Silver, the same thing. And this is what Paul is telling Timothy, basically this. If you can cleanse yourself, are you with me this morning? If you can cleanse yourself and put yourself in a category where you say, Lord, please reveal and please refine, then God can use you. But if we're in a category where we say, I'm wood, this is me, like it or not, take it or not, Lord, then what Paul is saying, God can't use you. Are you with me this morning? Okay? If we say, this is my characteristic, that's just the way my family is, that's just the way I am, then the Lord says, I love you, but I can't use you. Are you with me this morning? Okay? And so, what are we talking about this morning? How do we make ourselves purifiable? How do we make ourselves refinable? Can we purify ourselves? Can we refine ourselves? But we can make ourselves refinable and purifiable by saying, Lord, do what you need to do in me. I give you permission.